What's up, everybody? Right now, doing a live, quick chat. One second. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. So, if there's anything, let me know. All right. One second, everybody. Mm, all right. Now, um, I hope everybody's doing well. So today I'm just gonna, yeah, I haven't been on live for a little while. Um, just been busy, you know. Um, so Hey, what's up, AD? How you doing? Yeah, I'm just up in here. There's a few things I was going to chat about and whatnot. Um, hmm, let's see. Just yeah, I got a few seedlings going myself, but I need to transplant a few. Um, hmm. Now, a couple of things I was going to talk about is that there's a couple of strains. I made a video about back on the 5th of October, I believe, on one of them. Um, Those are called a Sweet Crisp. Well, in the title it reads Sweet Crisp, but I was going to call it Sweet Crispy. But yeah, it's just on this one, on that strain. I was thinking about doing giving out some seeds. Um, so I mean, if you guys, anybody wants to refresh their memory or anything about which strain that is, then go back to the video I have back in October 5th of last year. The title is Sweet Crisp. We'll be giving out some seeds for that one. That was a nice and crunchy one, and it's not exceedingly hot. Um, and yeah, so I wanted to give out some seeds to that to let some people try it out and you know let me know what they think and everything. Um, but um, yeah, then there was another one in the community posting area of my channel that I posted one that was I don't know, roughly 8 months ago, 8 months ago or so. Um, it's one that's uh, got some peppers on it that are kind of point upwards that are kind of chunky little pods, chunky pods, and those ones are pretty cool. I was thinking about giving out a few seeds of that. I have a few of those, but um, so it's more of the ones that I've been toying with, and experimental wise. There's a number of strains that I've been dabbling in with, or playing around with that I should say um, that I just would like to see a few people try giving it a grow and keep me posted and um, yeah, stuff like that. I'd like to see where uh, uh, what other growers' results would be, stuff like that. Uh, But but in regards to ones that are open pollinated, there's every grower has been growing for a long time will definitely end up ones that are open pollinated, especially if they save seeds from their grow. They keep growing and growing and growing with their seeds they save. It's bound to happen. And I'm not saying that it hasn't happened with me. It has because if you grow enough, it's going to. So um, let's see. I'd like to do more pod reviews, but um, depends on how it goes. Um, so, but yeah, so then right now, I mean, temperatures are still kind of off around here. I'm still ways yet to have any plants going outside. Um, so, um, I mean, I maybe have a handful of plants maybe that can go outside, but a number of them right now aren't even close to being ready. So, um, yeah. I mean, I might have to do some browsing around at some garden centers and some farms and that around the area to see what they have, to see if I can add anything else to my collection. So that's always a gardener's trait to do. Is always browse around for other plants to add to your collection. So, but yeah, um, if either of y'all that are in here right now would like to try any of those ones I got out, those would be decent ones to try if you're not looking for anything real heavy on the spicy level. Here, let me see, BD. This here. There's Yeah, these ones I was meeting about my community post here. There's a spot in everybody's YouTube channel where they can spot and post spot where they can post into the community or their community aspect. But here, let's see. Here this goes. So there's that. That's one of them. Um, yeah. So here's another one of them. Now these ones are pretty interesting. It's just they grow in little clusters and that, but then when they ripen more to a red. So they do like light green coloring and then they go to a red. I have another one that's very similar to it, but that one gets more of a blushing on it with the darker color a little bit, but then it does still turn red. Yeah, see these ones on this plant now. If you were seeing the pictures, um, that one actually they grow upright and they're not particularly um, large plants. So I was gonna say, those ones are nice to grow. I was going to say, if you don't have a space to grow these ones in the ground, these two strains I'm putting out here of mine that I'm toying around with are good for containers. If you have a really good size, really good space for it to grow, then yeah, the containers will do just fine with these. So, um, but yeah. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Um, yes, I'm I'm hanging in there and all that. So yeah, it's just doing last things. Um, but yeah, so I still got a couple of those one chip challenge chips. Um, I was going to do those at another point. I should have done it. I was going to do them some months ago, but I mean, I had taken a handful with me to my job, and I ate 'em. I was eating them at work and that, and then I got a couple people at work to try them, and they're having a tough time with them. Yeah, 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 and all this stuff. I'm also considering. Oh well, I'm also hoping some of these seeds I have left are going to take off pretty well. I grew a plant of it a few seasons ago, and it was pretty cool. Um, so uh, so I'm thinking I haven't really got many of those marugas started as of yet, but I'm thinking about put some up soon. I got a number of seeds around. I just got to get some together, and I'll probably do them on their own. Um, I like growing those ones. Those are some hefty pots. Um, but there's a Maruga cross that I'm I got a few seeds left for that I'm hoping to germinate. So, um, so yeah, um, 'cause some of these strains that are out there, I'd like to try, but um, my area here, I don't have the longest growth season, which I don't really like that aspect, but the soil here is nice. Um, I would it'd be more appreciative if the growing season was longer here, because I could really make the most out of a lot of my plants. Yeah, um, some pepper varieties can be um, little odd germinating. I've seen I've seen some strains where was literally a solid 30 plus days before the seeds actually germinated. I've seen that happen, and it's like, what? Yeah, so, yeah, if you're referring to that one Maruga Bell Cross, whatever, that is um, that one, that particular cross, what that hybrid did was more of the characteristics of the Maruga got expressed in that matter. And that was awesome. It was just a more beefier pods, and it was just straight Maruga all around with the flavor and the heat and everything, and just a little bit of it was like a little more sweetness to it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then bell peppers. Yeah. Yeah, around the early 2010s or so, like that. The grow season was pretty interesting in those so many years right there, because like the grow season was a little more extended in one of those years too. It was like in early March, boom, and it went into full swing in spring, and bang, and just it stayed in perfect growing weather until like November. It was just like ding. So yeah, yeah. There's some places that they are sold out of some things right now in regards to some of the seeds and that. Um, so hmm, what's my favorite tomato? That's hard to say exact favorite tomato, but one I've really liked is a chocolate cherry tomato. So um yeah, so this chocolate cherry tomatoes, those are pretty good. Um, um, like other like others that I grow is I do grow herbs, basil. I have a few lemon balm that I planted like a couple I planted a few seasons ago and round in where I have the lilacs and some mint. And those been coming back every year. I mean past couple years, so that's good. Lemon balm is a definite decent one to have around. And if you ever end up with seeds, you can just plant it and end up coming, you know, plant it, boom, you got something to come back every year. Um, and what's also nice is getting seed from uh, the lemon balm after it goes to that stage. You could actually, you know, start more of your plants more easily with that. I mean, I like growing some tomatoes, but it's just the structure of a lot of tomato plants I don't care for. Um, and with the way they are, it seems like a lot of tomato plants are around this area seem not very long lived. Um, yeah. Now, like the micro dwarf ones, those ones would be good for containers, and I don't mind growing them in containers. Some patio varieties work pretty well. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see here. Oop, sorry about that, guys. Um, yeah. So, let me see what the chat here. Aside from pepper, oh, okay, see that one. Is that tomatillo? Alright. Yeah, I mean, there are some micro ones. I was considering. I'd like to see some kind of tomato hybrids. Like say somebody take a micro one of those micro dwarf ones and maybe crossbreed it with something else. Um, so maybe get some of those traits mixed together pretty well. But yeah. So hmm. um, yeah. I don't know. I've heard some growers try to do those kind of things where they try to hybridize tomatoes and peppers, but I don't know. That'd be a tough doing. But uh, um, but yeah, I don't know, man. There's a number of strains out there that I do like growing. I really do. Um, a lot of them, I love me the ultra hots, and all that kind of jazz. Just that spicy goodness. Um, so um, I do like the medium heat ones. Um, the way they taste, and that it really affects things for me in that matter. And also, um, yeah, it's just the way the flavor can come across really affects it. Um, there's a lot of them that don't pack a whole lot of flavor. Um, some with flavor that could be with something left to be desired. Um, but um, I was gonna say if anybody's watching this, maybe even currently or even after I'm done with the stream here, um, if you're interested in growing these two strains that I've mentioned, there may be others involved if I come across them at the right time. Um, so what I'm gonna say is that if if you guys are really into that whole thing about that, I really would I really would be willing to make that make that giveaway possible as long as you know we're, and they all be respectful about it. That's all. But yeah, that's all, man. But yeah, I I would like to see what others could do and the results in growing these strains. So, Yeah, some plans can be finicky, but hopefully you were able to get seeds saved of some of the right pods from that. 'Cause that would be an interesting cross. I like the sugar rush plants for the fact is how fast they can grow. The sugar rush plants can grow really fast and being really tall, bushy. Um, you can get pods very quick on those, but it just seems like forever sugar rush takes to ripen. So, I mean, it just seems like it. Um, but sugar rush does have that juicy sweetness to it. Um, yeah, yeah, I've seen the striped sugar rush. Um, I've been curious about it. I'd like to try it, but yeah. So, I would like to try it. Mm. But um, as I was saying, a couple of strains I was mentioning, if anybody would like to grow them, and that you guys can go ahead and message me. Get a hold of me on, let's say, Instagram, Twitter, maybe even TikTok. I don't know. Well, I am on TikTok, but um, yeah, then maybe even Google Chat. So yeah, those are easy ways to get a hold of me. Uh, Google Chat, Instagram, Twitter. Those are easy ways to get a hold of me. Um, Stuff like that. Um, and then we'll see about working out some seeds for y'all, and yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see what a good grower will do. So, yeah, yeah. It's just with the stuff like the sugar rush, it would be. I like how they grow and how many pods they can produce. I just didn't like the time it took for them to ripen. Because there's pods I had sitting on there that looked like they were just starting to ripen almost into the color phase, and like a month later, it was still ripening. It was like, yeah. Oh, lemon drip. Yeah, some people like that citrusy aspect a lot. That kind of citrus, which I don't mind it, but some people like it more pronounced than others. But yeah, uh, but the Ahi rainforest is pretty decent with what amount it can produce. Yeah, yeah, right over here is past almost quarter past midnight right here. So yeah, oh, right. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna be doing some reviews this year. I'm gonna try doing a few things with some of my crosses this year too. Um, I'd like to get some of my crosses out there um, to people and get some of these out there rather than just me growing them. You know, I'd like to see. Um, I don't like to see my strain going to waste. You know, I like to see them out there, people enjoying them. But if anybody wants to take part in trying to grow someone, please message me, man. It'd be awesome to see. Mm. Hey, what's up, Steely Dan? Yeah, so um, well, if you're across any certain kind of borders or any other certain countries and laws and rules and shit, stuff like that, there are some of them that are very particular about what seeds go where. So, yeah. So yeah. I was Steely Dan. You didn't hear. Um, notice kind of. I'm going to talk about some pepper strains and whatnot. And another thing I threw out there was I was wanted to share out maybe a few of my couple of my strains and whatnot, and for some growers to grow and enjoy. So, whew. Mm. Um, I grow the Primo Telly. Um, I have a few of the pods around that dried out. I've been trying to clear out some of this older pods that I've had sitting around too. Um, yeah, want to get to growing the Primo Tally again. I might order me a couple plants just to or seedlings in a little while. You know, because I'd like to grow some Primo Tallies again. Now, Primo Tallies, they're not the hottest I've ever had. At least the ones I've tried. They are hot. Don't get me wrong, but I like the way those burn and the way it subsides and everything. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's real pale green. Um, no, I wouldn't put. I'm not. I'm not downplaying premortality at all. Um, I'll grow premortality. I don't have. I like it. I like premortalities. Um, it's I I gauge the burns differently on different pods, and for me, and yeah, I could see myself growing premortalities again. Um, yeah, I just there are certain ones that just can become mainstays here and there for me. So, so please don't take it the wrong way about what I was saying about pre-mortality. So, so really painted. Well, yeah, it is up there. There is a number of strains out there, quite a number of strains right now. Ones that haven't people haven't officially released, ones in this and that. Um, Ones that have been out but haven't been rated by a certain company or certain places. Even though I have grown ones and I have gotten some strains that could put other ones in the running easily. Um, yeah. Um, so um, yeah, there's a number of strains out there, but I like just different strains for different reasons. Um, so I really like growing. I really like growing those yellow morugas that I've been doing for a number of years. And then also um, there's this one that I haven't grown much of, but I want to. I've been wanting to. It's a Funky Mutant Yellow of mine. I've done videos on it some years ago, and these plants get big. These ones plants I've had some plants get about 6 feet tall, and some beefy yellow pods. Um, but they don't get they're not the hottest in the world, but that's not what these ones are about. They're fairly larger pods, and for the heat level on them, and they got a dense amount of flesh to them, and they're good. They're yeah. Um, it's kind of hard for me to describe them totally right now, but if you guys want to check them out, I've done videos of them prior. Um, like the brown marugas and the chocolate marugas, those are both fucking bleh, language, and those are both scorchers. Um, I've had both get hotter than 2 million easy, um, and BTR, those are good. CPR, those are pretty good, but the heat level is one of those ones that'll hit you hard, but um, you know, it's the heat level wasn't horrible on them. I mean, like horrible to deal with. Um, yeah, there are scorpions that are can be pretty fairly oily, but some scorpions can have a pretty fair amount of placental tissue too. Yeah, I've seen that happen in some of these. It can get like a yellowish, deep yellowish color sometimes, or even darker sometimes. So, yeah, um, yeah, guys. Uh, man, um, um, another hot one that's got some crazy phenotypes is a Jay's Peach Gold Scorpion. And I know that one's not the hottest by any means, but it is hot. And those ones, man, those ones have some nice flavor to them. Nice. Um, yeah, there's a lot of different strains out there. I mean, it's hard to keep up, but um, I remember some years ago, there was a number of people that didn't like. I have seen a number of reviewers and that they didn't like the taste of scorpions. Um, that's that's cool. I mean, that's what they feel. But for me, I'm one of the ones that like and appreciate the flavors of scorpions. Um, I've been very pretty expressive about that on my channel so far. I mean, it's just yeah. So yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really do like those kinds of strains. Now, some strains I didn't like as much some years ago, but I like them now more. So yeah, that's one thing is I've noticed that there is those older strains that do get put by the wayside because of new strains, which which isn't great when that happens. But I mean, but the thing is you also got to leave it up to the growers to actually keep them in the keep them in conversations, keep them going, keep them spreading out. Even if it is just a number of them that don't grow them as much, but just it's best to keep them going. Don't let the stuff get lost. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can relate to that. Getting it in powder form is definitely makes it more versatile. You can put it on a lot of stuff, which I have. um, if you guys haven't, try putting some super hot powder on nice ice cream. Mm, yeah, trust me, that's one of those things I come to appreciate a bit because I'll just put some powder on that ice cream and be like, It'd be like to me, it gets that. it gets that heat from the peppers, and then with that sweetness, and then the milkshake, and the coolness of the milk, the ice cream, and that. So that's yeah, it's a combination of things in there that goes on. It's just like, mm. Yeah. uh, yeah. Um, I was gonna say if you guys could ever find some older strains, go for trying to grow them. There are some strains that I don't see much of out there anymore, like I used to. But it's good to keep those old classics going. Um, that's another thing I miss is pepper lovers you know. But anyway, yeah. So I was gonna say we should. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still got a lot of seeds that I've had sitting around for a long time that I need to do something with. Actually, Brazilian Moruga's still around. Um, I swear I passed by it um on you guys have probably heard of his seed little things, but um if you guys want to know which one I'm talking about there, you guys probably have to message me on that. So I don't want to sound like I'm turning this into an advertisement. Um, but yeah, so that was a bow. So yeah, Brazilian brain strain is around. I know it's got to be around. I just think you just got to find the right growers. Um, yeah, it has been a little while, Bo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, let's see. Um, I don't know, yeah. Sometimes you might want to toy around with looking around for strains if you're not sure about them. Play around on the internet for a while. You'd be surprised where you can run across some of these strains. All right, guys. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Here's one. It's like 12:35. Yeah, a lot of things there, but yeah, yeah, guys. Um, that can kind of go either way on that, depending on the strain. Um, there have been some Naga varieties that I've had that are pretty nice. Some Ghost varieties that feel nice. The varieties of Ghost that I tend to like more is red, as and as form. I like the red one. Um, but in regards to if other ones like the Trinidad type or Scorpions or whatever, I can appreciate the Scorpions all day. Because Scorpions, no matter what, it just seems like you go with either almost any number of colors on them, and they seem to pack a pretty nice burn to them, pretty well burned, nice flavor, and yeah, and whew, yeah, I can appreciate that. See, the Nagas, they got their own burn separate of the Bujalokia. Um, Seven Pots. If you ever notice, go down the seven pot lines in the tree of seven pots, you can find that very similar indicator of the flavor and the burn of them. There's always something that you can trace back to them because of that. Because they all got that similar burn, and not that I'm not saying they're all the seven pots of the same burn, but some that's a very familiar of each of those burns that can be traced back to the other ones. And yeah, there's a certain thing about it. All right, Bo, take it easy. All right, be good to yourself. Yeah, see, yeah, you go back with the little seven pots like that, you'll see. You'll see. I mean, anybody that goes in that family tree of seven pots, get familiar with the flavorings, the burns. They all can have mean burns to them, but they have that indicative similarity to that kind of burn that you can know it's a seven pot with the flavor as well. The yellow seven pot, yes, I had them in some. I've grown them before, but the ones I've seen, there must be some variation in that though. Um, there's got to be variation in it because I've seen yellow seven pots be smooth skinned. I've seen some yellow seven pots be bumpy, with that kind of, bumpiness to them. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to get that out. I didn't mean to do that on camera. Um, here's one thing is the brain strain. If the lineage serves me correctly on that one, that involves a Moruga scorpion with the 7 pot. Oh. So, yeah, that and that's where that kind of gets that bumpy goodness, bumpy Ripley goodness from. Um, there's it's the red. The I've had the red 7 pot brain strain. I've seen there's a couple of different phenotypes of those. Um, came out with a couple of different phenotypes from what I've seen. There's the phenotype that very has a very similar phenotype to a scorpion in that. Not the same. Not the same. But there's a some familiarity of a scorpion in there. And with the texture and not the same shape, but close. I mean similarities. Um but um then there's the one that's got the bleeding calyx off that strain. So yeah, there's bleeding calyx on those, some of those that came out of it too. Um, but in all those, you can definitely tell the 7 pot in those strains, and yeah, those are crazy. Um, you are right about those aspects, but there's also a factor of where the source came from on them too. Um, because if you got them from somebody that had grown them out for a number of seasons, it could have developed its own path on that matter. Um, yeah. So depending on where you get your batch from, can also depend on which way the strain is taken, which path the strain is taken. So, um, yeah. So. But if you ever notice about those brain strains, there's something else, man. Well, 7 pots are something else altogether. I mean, take Doolittle for example. Yeah, you can get ones that are chunky. It just depends. I had gotten seeds of 7 pot Jonah a few years ago from a fellow grower, man, and his source on his seed source, man, it was nice. Um, if I can get if I can get a hold of him again sometime soon, I'll see him about give him a quick shout out. Even though I've done pod reviews from him before, um, he has some nice pods. I liked his 7 pot Jonas; those were nice. Um, There was a number of them I've grown from him, and his was nice, very nice. So I even did a chocolate version of chocolate Reaper version, strain version, and those ones were some mean ones. So, so yeah, it's just if you can find the right batch and grown by the right growers, you're gonna have some awesome stuff. So, and keep in mind if you got something that's interesting, grow it out for a number of years. Keep growing out for several generations. That's just grow it out for a few generations. Yeah, you'll be able to get something decent out of that. Um, well, in regards to this yellow seven pot, those ones are nice pods, and seven pot brain strain in itself isn't needs to it too. It just depends on what you're going for. Um, yeah, yeah, it depends on what you're going for, really. Um, because either way, doing something with either of those would be nice. I mean, I've grown some brain strains before, and I've grown yellow seven pots. I don't mind the yellow seven pots. They're a little different, but you know, so all right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. If I can find some of these one seeds that maybe have grown before, that'd be pretty awesome. But yeah. All right, guys. Um, um. Yeah, you guys. I think I'm going to be wrapping it up here. I spent a fair amount of time on here right now. We'll be looking forward to doing more sometime soon here. Um, yeah. So, um, yeah. But yet again, if anybody is interested in trying to grow a couple of strains I mentioned that I have to my own, and be sure to contact me. All right. Mm, 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 mm. All right, guys. Let's see. If anything, guys, I appreciate every one of y'all that's been in here. It's highly appreciated, and those of you that are in the chat, and if there's anybody that's not in the chat, that's fine too. It's just thanks for anybody that's here. Um, I just appreciate seeing you guys on here, really do. Um, it'd be nice seeing more of y'all. and it'd be nice to also do more videos and everything. Um, so you guys, yeah, um, yeah, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night too, and yeah, and let's everybody stick together in here. Let growers stick together. Growers grow together. All right, but all right, guys. Um, want to go ahead and hop off here. Wish you a great night, guys. And yeah, remember, stay spicy. All right, guys. So appreciate y'all coming in and everything. All right, all right, guys. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. All right. So, so, all right, guys. Check y'all later. All right. Thanks for coming in. Peace. See y'all around.